we got to talk about perspective shifting in dating. So this bat signal is reference to you're on a healing journey or you're self-aware and you're putting out your bat signal, right? To attract and draw in other people who are either on a healing journey or healed or whatever you want to label it, or self-aware. So let me ask you this. My dog is like trying to get in on this. Okay, come here, Scotch. If somebody bolts because you've shared something vulnerably or the journey you're on, why would that make you think that something's wrong with you? And maybe that's your healing journey to go on, right? When you're taking that personally of a stranger who you barely know, even if you've been gone on a couple dates and they bolt when you've shared something vulnerable, why don't you take the perspective of, thank God I dodged a bullet? Because if that's how they're going to react to something that I've shared that's authentic or true or hard or vulnerable or whatever, good, let them go. Let them go. And I think to some extent, we just don't have very good examples of what safety looks like in a relationship, like emotional safety for both men and women. And so we take these unhealed responses, like these people who are just going to like ghost or, get the ick. It's one thing for you to self-reflect and go, could I have handled that in a better way? Sure. And you learn from it and you move forward instead of like, oh, I should just not be around people and isolate and like, I'm not lovable. Oh, that's your work to do. But I think if I can just share, when friends or people that I'm dating share something really vulnerable, my job as their partner or person that they're dating is not to judge them. Okay? To create a safe space with someone means that you remove judgment from the table. There's a whole theme going around with people who are in partnership going, we listen and we don't judge. That's the bare minimum of safe relationships, y'all. It shouldn't be a TikTok trend. And I don't know, my line of work, I hear the most horrific stories. And so I'm kind of just immune to getting emotionally into it. But even I was on a first date with somebody and he shared how basically his best friend was shot right in front of him. They were on a camping trip. One of his buddies got drunk, was playing with a gun, shot his friend, killed him right in front of him. And as he's sharing this in a public restaurant on a first date, I could tell it was very hard for him to talk about because this happened probably 4 or 5 years before that date, but it was still traumatic for him. And my job is not to deflect and go, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. What? Or just be like, oh, well, okay. I'm going to go to the bathroom. What I asked was, how would you like me to respond to that information? What feels good for you in this moment for my response? Because I didn't know how to respond to that because I didn't know the guy, right? People tend to react to certain information, private information, vulnerable information, with their own feelings of discomfort to try to get it to stop. I went through this a lot when I had a miscarriage 15 years ago. The amount of bullshit things that people say to you when you go through a trauma or a tragedy is wild to me. This should be a class we have in school as children of like, hey, when this happens, this happens. And oftentimes you don't know what to say until you've been through something. You don't say everything happens for a reason. You just don't. And so what I've learned in my line of work is, what is it that this person, because it's unique to everyone, what is it that this person needs in this moment? Do they need me to judge them? Do they need me to feel uncomfortable? It's their story. It's their work. It's their thing. Right? And so in that moment, I asked him, I was like, wow, that's heavy. How would you like me to respond? And he said, I don't need you to respond to anything. I just want to share. And I'm like, great, you've got it. And we carried on. He shared more about the story and I got to listen, and I asked questions about his experience. Not because he needed my empathy or my sympathy or my, woe is you, oh, you poor thing, and us to trauma bond over it. No, he just wanted to share without judgment, without feeling like he's broken or that he's traumatized and he needs to be fixed. None of that. So if you're finding that you're experiencing a lot of people who can't hold space for you, my question is always, as a mirror, relationships are a mirror, are you able to hold space for yourself? Are you able to not judge yourself for the things that you've been through and that you've experienced? Are you able to have those conversations without falling apart? If not, no judgment, but that might mean that you need to go to a therapist to talk through some of this stuff if you're still really emotionally dysregulated about it, and not dump that on your partner, especially if there's somebody new. You can test them out for sure, But you also have to understand and have discernment with vulnerability. Because I think and I don't know if this is just a men thing, I'm sure women do it too, but women tend to be more emotionally upfront. But when men share vulnerably and emotionally, that's new for them, or that's something that they're not super comfortable with. And so when they do that around women who don't know how to hold a safe space, you get the reactions of women being like, be a man, or like men shouldn't cry, or they get the ick, right? Because they're not safe partners. When you are in a safe container of space, right, whether that's with a friend, whether that's with a partner, you can share authentically and vulnerably without judgment and without getting triggered and want to isolate and stay away. If you choose to isolate, even though you desire partnership, what that's telling me, I had to think about it for a second. If you choose to isolate, even though you desire partnership, because of the experiences you're having where you start to peel back the layers and share your authentic self, to me, what that's telling me is that you have a bad picker, that you are choosing people for different reasons than emotional safety. And I know for men, that can be kind of a weird thing because you want to be the protector, the provider, the safe one, but a woman needs to be able to hold a safe space for your emotions, which means that we don't project them onto her, but that she allows you to be you and to ask what you need as support and learn you and understand your unique way of being supported without you being judged. And if you're doing the healing work, you can also be that safe space for your partner because you will understand her emotional world. While it may be a little more erratic than yours, you can understand it and also provide that to her. Relationships and partnerships should have reciprocity where you're both supporting each other's healing, the vulnerability, the connection, the intimacy. It should be reciprocal. And if you're not having reciprocal relationships, you've got a bad picker. You're allowing people access to you that shouldn't have access to you. Therefore, you're having repeated experiences of being rejected, of being wounded, of, people running from you. You just have shitty people in your life. Doesn't mean that everybody out there is shitty. This just means that who you're picking to allow access to you, not a safe partner for you. And hey, my name's Tara, and I'm on a mission to create a safe army, or a self-aware army, because it's lonely in these self-aware streets.